Just Joe McCall's course is hands down the best. My wife and I, we run our real estate investment company. When we got Joe's course, it helped us do so many more.
It was awesome speaking to Joe and Gavin. They're down to earth and they keep things nice and simple. They don't overwhelm you with information.
Just wanted to thank Joe McCall and his team for the challenge, the 5 seller a day challenge. It was very interesting, introspective.
Joe knows exactly what you want to hear, and he tells it exactly like it is, and he never gives you any false information.
Joe McCall is the real deal. His products, his service, his information, and how he helps you get ahead is amazing.
Joe's always talking about it as one of those lifelong students. I've always buying courses, trying to learn the best ways of investing in real estate.
Big shout out to the guy behind me, Joe McCall, and his live marketing mastermind class. Absolutely mind-blowing what he's presenting.
Joe refers to these mind maps, so his preparation is obvious. There are also audio-only and transcript copies of each session available. It's a great value for a small investment.
I want to thank Joe McCall and the team. Thank you so much for helping me get my business off the ground. I really feel confident.
Joe, Gavin, I just want to thank you guys so much. We just completed the course and we are well on our way. Things are moving really smoothly.
We definitely recommend Joe's course, any of Joe's courses. To anybody thinking about it, just go ahead and do it. You won't regret it.
Hello, everyone. Oh, that video was really good. So this is day 5 of our 3-day challenge. This is the second bonus day, which it seems like every day the content is just getting better and better, and people are just getting so many like golden nuggets and aha moments. So I'm excited for today. I'm a little sad it's the last day of the challenge, that it ends here, unless you're a VIP member. If you signed up for VIP, then this is just the beginning. It's going to keep on going. We got 2 weeks of continuing to dive into what Joe and Gavin are going to do in their new markets, who's going to get the most leads. You get all the resources in the mind map if you're signed up for that VIP experience. That's newmarketvip.com. You can still sign up for it. There's also a 2-day, you get tickets to a 2-day virtual boot camp. It's also included in that VIP experience. So it's not too late. Check it out. I know we get a lot of great feedback about the content that people are giving. And I think Joe and Gavin are ready to jump on and start our bonus.
Really big.
Hey. Can you?
Guys.
How we doing? Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Nice. I am actually we're in Nashville at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. It's an amazing hotel if you've ever been here before. My daughter has a gymnastics tournament, so we're just here for the day. Hope you guys are doing well, man. I'm excited. Hey, Gavin, I'm using the crisp microphone. Can you hear the background, or is it doing a pretty good job removing the background noise?
It's doing a pretty good job. I can hear it sometimes coming in and out, but no, I can't hear anything now. You're good.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today, Gavin?
Well, I guess we're going to do some Q&A, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that we're answering some questions. I think you've frozen. Dana, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. It might be on Joe's side. Can you over? Okay. Yes. RJ, I can. Yes. I think we'll just answer some questions, Joe, and make sure that, we tidy this up. I think it's been a great week. We've been live every single day on time as well. And we've had, it's been great. So I want to make sure. And when I say on time, we're normally on time, but sometimes with technical issues, we get delayed, and we haven't. So it's been a successful week, and yeah, I think we should dive in doing that. And then remember, guys, if you haven't already, I think you should definitely get into the VIP challenge, because we're going to be going into a market on Monday. We're going to be starting these 9 videos leading up to the 2-day event. And then the 2-day event is where we're going to be really diving deep into what we're talking on them videos leading up to that.
So hey, listen, guys.
Sound.
I think I can hear you guys. You sound good. Listen, if you have questions, we're going to be here answering your questions. Number 1. Number 2, if you've got a deal you need us to look at, give us the address of the property, and we'll pull it up on Zillow and Redfin. We'll take a look at it and see if we can come up with some comps, tell you what we would offer for the property. So if you've got a deal, please type it in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube right now, and we'll pull it up.
Yep, absolutely. Amazing 2 weeks ahead.
All right, Gavin, do you see in the comments, Dana will star them. Do you see there's live and then starred comments?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah, so RJ, I would, what list would I pull for criteria for sellers? I cover this next week, but basically I start with probably an absentee list, okay? So kind of a general list that I can then list stack against. And I go into that next week. But I would be looking at probably 40% or more equity plus unknown. I'd be doing probably 7 or maybe 10 plus years of ownership plus unknown ownership. I'd be doing single family, multifamily, triplex, duplex, quad. I would be doing absentee, in-state, and out-of-state. And then sometimes I put a current home value cap on. And it depends on the market, but that would be a good kind of start. And obviously I said that quickly so you can, watch this back. But I do break this down and give you, an example, kind of show you exactly how I do it, probably on video, maybe 2 or 3 next week. Hopefully that answers the question.
How about this one, Gavin? You see how you can go to the live and the start? You can click on that. You can click on one to show it. Does that make sense?
Got it. Oh, yeah, the starred goes, yeah.
All right, so I pulled up a property here, 217 West Thomas Street, Lansing, Michigan. Maybe we can pull that property up. Oh, we got another one good in Tarpon Springs, Florida. Do you remember how to share your screen?
You want me? Am I pulling it up? Is that what you said?
Yeah, please. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
My bandwidth is not very good here. So we're going to pull up 217 West Thomas Street, Lansing, Michigan. We got 2 more addresses here as well we're going to look at. If you guys have questions, type them in the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments.
Yeah, I've just got to get rid of a few things here on my screen, and then I'll go ahead and share.
I'll answer this question right here real quick. The address again, Gavin, was, you see it there in the comments?
217, I got it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll answer this question while you pull it up. Do you recommend having a website to sell vacant land? Yes, I do. You can get a good website on FreedomSoft if you get the Joe McCall Signature Edition. They have a land website for buyers, one for sellers. And then also, Carrot has really good land websites. So if you go to joelikescarrots.com, that's my affiliate link, joelikescarrots.com. And but it helps to have a website because you're going to get a lot of people that don't know you, have never heard of you before, and they don't know if they can trust you. Are you a real person? And so having a website goes a long way in building a little bit of credibility. Just makes you look more professional. Although, having said that, I know guys who sell vacant land without even putting it on their websites. So if it's a good deal, you can sell anything. You don't have to have a website to do deals. You don't have to have a website to do vacant land. So don't forget that. Cool. So let's show Gavin's. We're talking about here, 217 West Thomas Street. There's we can see your screen, Gavin. So we're good.
Okay,
I'm going to mute
perfect.
myself
So-
because my audio is not good. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, so guys, so I normally pull this up in Zillow. So how I got here is I literally just put it in Google first and then clicked on the link. Then what happens is you'll see in the backdrop, it says DeWitt, Michigan here. I need to get this address, copy this address here now. I X out of it and I'm going to drop it back in. Oops. I'm going to drop it back in here like this. Now you'll see that the map behind is actually zoomed in with the property in the middle, and you can see the address, okay, behind right there. So when I X out of it, I know that I'm going to have that in the middle of the screen. Now, while I'm on here, this is kind of what I look at just as a quick glance, okay? So this is a 3-1. It's just over 1,000 square foot. So I take that into consideration. I have a quick scan of the Zest, just while it's here, and the rental Zest, but not really worried about that right now. Then what I do, I've lost my mouse. There we go. Okay. Then what I do is I scroll down here and I'm paying attention to this. So it's a 1924 build. Okay. So it's older, right? And also the lot size, okay, can come into effect. Also, what I would do is, well, let's go and have a look at the history of this. So it looks like it had it up for sale in 13, it didn't sell maybe. In 17, the listing removed in 18. So whether this is not selling due to the condition, but I keep this in the back of my mind that it wasn't selling back in 18 for this price, okay? So they're the kind of quick things that I would look at. Then what I would do is I would X out, and there's our property right here in the middle of the screen. Now, when you go onto Zillow, you always want to make sure that you reset your filters, reset the filters before you do anything. Because if you were looking at a $500,000 house before, then now, obviously, you know that might affect when we're looking at a low end market. So make sure you reset that. Then I come in here and I'm going to change this to houses, and I'm going to probably do. I might leave 2 beds on. Sometimes I do 3. It's still a small size. So sometimes the 2 beds, because it's 1,000 square foot, 2 beds are still, I can still comp because of it's a small square footage. So I'm going to do 2 for now. So 2+ beds, houses. And then I'm just going to start with solds. And then if I go to more, I'm going to go sold just in the last 90 days to start with. Okay. Right. Here we go. So we've actually had the neighbor's house. Look at this. We've had the neighbor's house sell. That's literally is a 2-1. Like I said, you're going to find them because of the square footage. That is 3 square foot smaller. So let's look at it for 63. So let's open this up. And here it is. So I don't know if this has got an upstairs. So, you know, sometimes you have to stay with that. You can't do a 2-story, but it's a good start. So we can kind of see the condition of this, right? And we can also see how was this sold. Did it look like it was listed? Awesome. Look at the build. Same year. Look at the lot size. Same. That's really good. It sold back in January for 63,000, and it looks like it was listed. So this was actually listed on the MLS. It looks like for 72, and it sold for 63. And this was the condition. So this is a really good comp right next door, even though it has got an upstairs. But with the size, I'm not too worried. Unless ours did have an upstairs. Let's have a look. No, it didn't. Okay, but you can see not far off the condition, is it? Probably theirs was in a little better condition, because I can't see our kitchen here. So once I do that, I X back out. Now I could go, let's go out a little deeper. And I'm still on only 3 months. So there's a big road here. Now, this is what I need to watch for. This is kind of a main road, I would think. So crossing this major road could put me in a different area. So I have to keep that in mind from a virtual level. But I'm still going to check it out. This one's a 3-2 and it's bigger. Probably wouldn't take that in as 93. This one here is a little smaller as a 3-1.5, sold for 50, but it's also on a main road. So that's probably why it sold a little less. And then we could go this one smaller, this one smaller, smaller, and smaller. But these are all kind of good comps. So if I wanted to do more, what I could do is I'd go more and I could go, all right, well, let's play with the square footage real quick. Mine is, I'm going to do under 1250 square foot. Okay. And I'm going to do down to 750 square foot. Okay. And I'm also going to do, because I still think it's good, let's go out 6 months and see what we've got. Now I know I'm within my square footage to look at this screen here. Again, this major crossroads, but I would be looking at these 72. Okay, this one's in decent condition, right? I can see the kitchen. This one looks good. Let's look at the year real quick to make sure it's not way newer. Yeah, it is 1950, so it's much newer, a little smaller lot. So I really wouldn't, I think it's good to see that, but I still wouldn't bring that in as a comp. This one's probably newer as well. If it's a newer neighborhood, yeah, you can see straight away that this is a newer neighborhood. So we're going to be seeing these probably in the 50s. Okay, this one's 1900 actually. I don't know if I'd believe that, but maybe it is. Okay, so for 48,000. So at my point right here, I know 48, 63. So I'm going to be making sure that this property here, I would be trying to get probably for about 50,000, 40,000, probably with a bit of work. That would be a quick offer. And all I've done there is gone, well, let's look at what's selling. And I normally like to take about 20,000 off to start that negotiation. And that is how I'd literally make this offer. And then just as a backup, I'd go to for sale. Okay. And I would then go and look at, is there anything listed? So we got one here for 120, but again, it's a 4-bed, 3-bath, but it's only just over 1,100 square feet, which is tiny. They're just ramming bedrooms in. But anyway, there's nothing else competitive to me that's selling. I could say I might have to get rid. Well, let's look at this one here. So there's one here, look, for 87. That's a 2-1. Sorry, it's just loading. 86,000 for sale. It's a 2-1, same size, near enough. And it's done up, right? Well, it's not done up, but new floors. Okay, kitchens are old, but this would be a good thing here. And how long has this been listed? Let's see. It's been on 16 days. Okay, so this would be a good area. A good kind of gauge for what it would sell for, right? So if I got this at 40,000, I'd probably be looking at a buy and hold person for this. So I might do is also just have a quick look, and I wouldn't have even gone here, by the way, for making this offer. But if this was getting close, I'd then go, well, what are these things renting for, right? A 4-1 is 1,100 for 1,000. We got this one here is probably a good one, 1,200. That's kind of what the Zest said, right? So let's look at I'm just going to bring me back real quick. So let's think about that. So we have a house going for maybe 1,200 fixed up. If I can get this for 40, put 20 in and get it rent ready, I'm all in, let's say for 65,000, and I can literally rent this for over $1,000 bucks. Okay. Or I could sell it. It looks like in the 80s, but again, I think it's definitely a buy and hold investor for this. So I don't know if you've changed anything, Joe.
No, that was really good. I was actually looking at the property on Redfin while you were doing that, and I got the same thing. I would offer between 40. I would probably start at 40, maybe be willing to go up to 50. Really good. That was awesome. Thank you, man.
And
look at that.
I think, and let me just
look at. Matt says we've got it for 25. We offered too much.
Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. So inside knowledge, right? But look at the comps. Nothing else sold for 25. So if I've seen that at 25, unless there's something in the property that I can't see, then you've got a smoking deal. Remember, the inside knowledge and the motivation versus us looking at a random property are two different things. So good job.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really good job. 25. I mean, you should be able to sell that for 35 to 45. I think pretty easily, depending on how much work it needs. But You might make a 15-20 grand wholesale fee on that.
And Matt, what are you doing with it? What I'm just curious. Like, are you going to wholesale it, and then let us know what you get for it?
We're looking at his comments here. Dana, when his comment comes up, will you just? Well, here it is. Oops, sorry, I deleted it. I offered 50 and needs about 30 in rehab. So are you selling it for 50? Yeah, he says wholesale. He's trying to wholesale it.
Yeah. I don't think you get 50 with 30 grand of work. I think that's too much, because I estimated 20 just looking at it to get it rent ready. So if you're saying 30, you may stick at it, but you might have to come down. But the good thing is you're definitely going to make money. We know that.
Excellent. So let's look at another deal, Gavin. Can we do the same thing? Let's go to Tarpon Springs. Here it is. 826 Francis Drive. Tarpon? I'm going to mute my microphone here.
Yeah, I'm in the start. Oh yeah, 826 Francis Drive. Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, let's share my screen here. So I'm going to show you guys. Oh, all right. So this is what I always do. I always put it in here first in Google, and then I go and find it on Zillow, which is here. Okay. Then I open it up. Now remember what I just said. When I get in here, there's a couple of things I got to do first. You see how it doesn't have my address at the back? So I'm going to take this. And I'm going to go and drop it in here. Now, as you've noticed, the last page that I was on was rentals. And look what I'm on right now, rentals. It's kept the same information. So remember, you got to go to more and reset your filters. Okay, and then I'm going to go solds. But before I do that, let's dive in and kind of have a quick analyze this real quick. So we come in, it's a 2-2. Again, small house, 739 square foot. Quick glance at the Zest, not really too fussed about that right now. I'm then going to go down and look at the it built. Oh, so this is a mobile home. Okay, so we got to watch for that. Well, let's carry on looking. So 1971, and that makes sense why I don't have a square footage, because it is on a mobile home. So I guess these are probably all mobile homes. So that's kind of what I'd look at real quick. Now let me glance out and see what we've got here. So I've got solds on. I wonder if it's going to be listed as manufactured. Let's see. Nice. It is. So now you see I'm on manufactured. I didn't do houses because we're literally in. This could be a park. This could be a community 55 and over. Or it could just be a random mobile home park, right? And you might own the land or not, but we can kind of look at this. So once I've done that, I'm now going to go. Let's go and look at the solds within 90 days. Okay, now that got rid of a lot of solds, but it left us a couple on here. Okay. Also, oh dear, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Sorry, I got a little delay in the internet, guys. All right, let's click on this. So this is a 2-1, 1-2. This sold in December. We don't have any pictures for 80,000. Let's look. 1973. Okay. Now, on this, guys, this must be land because it must be, because it's manufactured home, single family residence. I'm pretty sure this is with land. Let's see. Welcome, community, mobile located to the corner lot. The land is owned, and the FHA fees are 18 per month. All right, so it's 18 a month, and the land is owned. Okay, so that's good to know. Right, so we can double check that looking at that description. Okay, so when I come back out here, now if I forget, I go, oh, what are we doing again? There's still my property, look, in the search. So I go, let me just double check. So we're 2.2 at 739 square foot. And then again, I just want to check my year of this. 71. And I have 3 parking spaces, it looks like. Okay. And it's 18 months. So what was my the age of this one here? 80,000. I don't see the inside. 71, 73. It's the same year. I've only got, I had 3 spaces. They only have 1. So that one is a good comp. Now that's not enough. So I'm going to go, and I can't go to this one over here because this one's on the water, it looks like. So I'm not worried about that one. So let's go one more. I'm going to go 6 months. All right, cool. Now we got one at 80. We got a small 2-1 here at 104. And we got another one here, a little bigger, a 2-2 for 127. So let's look at this. So this one sold for 127 back in October. That was 1993. So this is a newer build, okay? Newer than ours, but again, 127. So we have an 80, a 127, and a 104. This one here is 104. And this is kind of the last one that I'm going to look at. And I'm going to do one more thing before I give a... This one's newer as well, okay? But I still think we could use that. I'm going to flick over to for sale quick. Oh, nice. Look at this one. So we also have one at 90,000 for sale, which is tiny, and it doesn't look in great shape from the outside, but we don't know. Let's see if there's any pictures. There isn't. So they're asking 90,000 for this, okay? And it is same year, pretty much. One space. We have 3. Why that one's 47 a month and ours is 18, I don't know. But 90,000, okay? So we've got one for 90 for sale in our mobile home park. And then we have them other ones for solds for this. So I would now be thinking, okay, I'm going to go off the lowest here. So there's one asking for 90 in that condition that we could see from the outside. This one here at 80,000, okay? What I would do is on this, I remove myself. What I would do on this, guys, is I've got the numbers. I got a 90,000 for sale that's up in just one picture of it. Okay. I have an 80, a 127, and a 104. I'll probably leave the 127 because it's a much newer unit. I'll take the 104 and the 80 to go off. Okay. Then I'm going to go back and make my offer. So now, depending on the condition of ours, which we do have, let me jump back in because we have pictures of ours. So what do we think we need? The condition. I think it looks pretty nice, you know. So I don't know about you, Joe, but I'd be confident on, you know, this probably being sold. It depends if you're buying that. You'd have to look to see if you could rent these out. Are you allowed to rent these in this area and things like that? Because the HOA, and you probably can't do Airbnb, and there's probably things that are stopped. But I would be saying here that this looks like in decent shape. And I imagine that it's going to be in better shape than that one at 9,000. So I'd be trying to probably go in and get this on a soft pass offer for around probably 65. I'd be going in at 60, 65, and then going from there. I think someone would buy this. I think an investor, if you can rent it, would pay at least 90,000 for this based on the rent estimate, if that's correct. And I could say, well, let's see if anything's renting in the park.
Well, Gavin, take a look at that property and look at the listing history of that property.
of the one that's up for sale?
The main property we're looking at, 826 Francis.
Did I not do that? Let's see. Yeah, so here we go. That's good. I didn't do that. So yeah, it looks like they're selling it for 166, which is way too high. There's nothing sold in that park in 6 months, so they're way too high, right? I think they could get probably over 100 for it. But now what you've got is, are you going to go and be able to get it? Again, I said a soft pass offer at 60, which would let Joe, just sorry, mute yourself real quick. I'm sorry. What you need to do is, the reason I said a soft pass offer, guys, and what is that? Let me just come back. What is a soft pass offer? So I'd say, hey Joe, I've been looking at the numbers. There's one that's sold down the street, for a lot less than you want. I mean, there's no way you're going to take like 65,000, is there? And then he's going to go, what? No, absolutely not. That's crazy. Well, yeah, I just wanted to see where you're at. I mean, how close can you get to that number, do you think? Now what I'm doing is I'm price anchoring, trying to get him down. Okay. So this house, and I should have looked at that, was 166. Okay. Now it didn't sell because it's too high. The best comp that they possibly could go off was 127, and it was a newer unit. And I believe in a mobile home, unit age is way more than even a house, because in a house you can do new this and new that, and you can in a mobile and manufactured home, but it's different. I think it wear and tears different, in my opinion. So that's why I'd start price anchoring. But in the condition of that, I think if they probably sold it, they could probably retail it at 120 less the fees. They'd be able to walk away with probably 105, something like that. That's what I would guess from a retail. So if I could get in 65 offer, go up to maybe 75, and with that rental where it's located, I think we could do a deal.
Good. Let me take the next one here. Hopefully my internet is strong enough. This is a house, 3001 West Spruce Street in Tampa. I'm going to try to share my screen. Excuse me. Okay, so 3001 West Spruce. I'm going to use Redfin this time. West Spruce in Tampa, right? I'd encourage you guys, again, you just need to get really careful. Well, this is pending. So I'm wondering, whoever submitted this, is it actually under contract? Are you the one who has it under contract? Because they were asking 385 for it. Guys, they were asking 385 for it. So whoever submitted this, Dana, can you see in the comments? Are they the ones who have it under contract? And what would I offer on this property? Well, this is let's just say this was a house that was listed as a for sale by owner. Or it was listed as with a realtor. Looking at these pictures, the chances of this house that's just been rehabbed, the chances of them being motivated and dropping this at a significant discount, and that furniture looks fake. I don't know. You never know these days anymore, do you? The chances of them dropping this pretty low where we need to be for a cash discount is pretty slim, right? Not saying it can't happen, but yeah, I don't think this is something we're going to be able to make a cash offer on. So this might be something you want to do make a lease purchase offer on. But at that point, I have a calculator that I could show you, but I'm not going to do that right now. It's when you're making a lease option offer, I usually just start with their list price, and I will go about 15% less than that, figure out what it would rent for, and I make an offer of 75% of the rent. Sometimes Redfin gives you rent estimates. Yeah, see, it's the chances of them accepting any offer is really slim. They just listed it a 3 weeks ago, and it's already pending. So I mean, as a lease option, again, I would offer ARV times 85% for the option price. The rent, let's say it's 2,000 times 75%. That would be my payment to the seller. And then I would offer I'll try to get it for 5 years. Make sense? All right, that's a good example. Let's look at this one. This one's Temecula. This is going to be another challenging one here. I'll share my screen. 31362. 31362. 31362. What was it? Paseo? Yeah. Sometimes I like to look at these properties on Zillow because Zillow gives me a better listing price history.
And I think Matt said about PropStream and FreedomSoft and something else about comps. Guys, you can use whatever you want. The reason is with Zillow, in my opinion, Zillow and between Zillow and Redfin, they cover literally every market and they're never going away and everyone can use them. If we start going into another's paid software, then people think they have to get it to comp and you don't.
Yeah. All right, so this property here, it was last sold in 2014 for $288. It's a solid neighborhood, but like it's been 8 years now, so it probably needs. If I'm going to fix this up to fix and flip, what am I going to sell it for? Let's just say I'm going to fix and flip this thing, right? So let's look at this here in Redfin. I'm going to copy that address. I'm going to, let me do this here. I want to keep it here. I'm going to open it in a new tab. This is 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. I'm going to click on this map right here. I want to see what other similar properties are currently for sale. And move this, zoom out. All right, so again, it's 1,524 square feet. So let's set up some parameters here. We wanted a house. We want 3+ bedrooms. And for square feet, I'm going to do at least 1,300 square feet max. Let's do 1,800 square feet. Kind of in that price range or in that size range. There's one home for sale right now for $715. This one's a little bigger. And you can go into the details of when it was built. It was built in 1987. When was ours built? $1988. So real close, right?
Yep.
All right, so let me zoom out one more time to get more. And I sort this table here by price. So this is your competition. This is what you got to be thinking of. Like if you're going to try to sell yours for 600 and this one is listed for 550, well, that's a problem, right? And this one doesn't need any work. This one's in good shape. So I'm kind of thinking right now, okay, this property is worth about 550 at the most. This is almost the exact same property. Even though it's on a different side of the road, this is still the same area. The next thing I like to do is I like to go to solds. Let's look at the last year. Well, let's do the last 6 months. I have too many. There's 65, right? So now I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Now there's 18 homes. I'm going to sort this from high to low. This one sold for 640, 640, 615, 600, 590, 588, 585. Now the market again, California is it's an anomaly. It goes crazy. 560, 560, 550, 545, 530. So if I'm just looking at the solds, there's some real nice ones that have sold for a lot, right? But you can look inside. These are really nice rehabs, very nice conditioned properties. So I'm just thinking again, if I fix this thing up, what is it going to be worth? If I want to sell it fast, I bet I can sell it fast for kind of 550 to 600 price range, right? But let me go back to for sale. This one's for sale listed right now for 715. If I zoom out though, I have this one here for 550. Why would they want to pay 600 for mine when they can buy this one for 550? This one's been on, oh, this one's only been on the market for less than a day. So this might sell pretty quick, right? This one's been on the market for 36 days. This one has acreage. It has, looks like it has some, it's a good lot. So it's one of those things, you know, like this might be worth a couple calls to some realtors in that neighborhood. You know, if I'm seriously looking at making a serious offer on this, I'm going to talk to some realtors and see, okay, what would this property be worth, do you think? Redfin says it's 585. Zestimate says it's worth 579. You know, one thing you could do is you could go to PropStream, log in. You can still hear me and see me okay, Gavin?
Yeah. You're good. Yeah. While you're doing that, can I just say something to Matt real quick? Yeah. Matt, I wouldn't say that you need to discount. So you got it at 25. You're asking 50. You think there's 30 in. I think it's too much for that. But the thing is, don't frantically move it to 30 or whatever. Don't do that. Find out from the buyer. Get some buyer. If you're not getting any interest, then I'd probably take it to 40 first, and then get a buyer in and let the buyer make you an offer, or a couple of buyers make you the offer. Don't go too low, because then you got to try and get it back up again. That's how I do it, is get the number from the buyer.
All right. So I said before, I thought it was, I could sell it fixed up for between 550 and 600. The Redfin estimate is 585. Zillow estimate is 579. So I just did a simple, let's say I could sell it for 580. Okay. I'm going to take 580 times, you can't see my calculator, but I'm going to it's the Mayo formula. Normally it's ARV times 70% minus repairs minus your wholesale fee. But this is Temecula, California. It's a hot market. So I'm going to do 80%. Okay. So ARV of 580 times 80%. Minus repairs. How much is repairs? I mean, I have no idea, but I'm just going to go with 40. 40 grand in repairs. I want to make a $15,000 wholesale fee. So I would offer 409. I'd offer $409,000. That's figuring in 20% equity, leaving it for the fix and flipper. 40,000 for repairs. Me making a $15,000 wholesale fee. I would offer 409,000. Crazy, maybe, I don't know. It's one of those things, like sometimes you just don't know, and you can spend too much time over analyzing these deals, because you just got to make an offer and see what the seller says, see what their ballpark is. You might find out that if they take your offer, maybe it's completely wrong. Well, then you can go back and adjust it and renegotiate. Go ahead, Gavin.
Even on the ones that I did more than I normally would, because I'm trying to demonstrate the things you could do. But you can't dig too deep until you get the commitment. Once you have the commitment, then you can go and double check your work, go more closely, dive in a little more. But right now, you know, you can't start. This is what happens with a lot of people, right? You get someone on the phone and they'd say, well, yeah, send me an offer. Then they spend 15, 30, 45 an hour making this offer just to get a no. Right? And that's what you're dealing with, is that you need to make sure that you're going to get the yes if you're going to spend the time doing it. So that comes with the motivation. Zero motivation, like, oh yeah, whatever, it's going to sell, just make me an offer, whatever, go away. That takes me like under 3 minutes to make the offer. I literally just go Zest, yeah, 50 grand cash, boom, done. Like, move on. Because if there's no motivation there anyway, why am I looking into something when they're not motivated? It doesn't make any sense, okay? The other thing that you should never do, just while I'm on this, because I know you all do it, is if you get a lead come in from a cold caller, right, or from a postcard that you missed or whatever, don't go and analyze the deal before you speak to the seller, okay? Get on the phone, ask the questions. Don't go and look and get all prepared. And then they come on and go, oh, I'm not selling, or I'm not doing this. And you just wait, or they don't even answer. That's the best thing. They don't even answer. And then you go and do it the next one. And then you go, well, I've been here an hour. I've looked at 3, 4, 5 properties and I'm having another conversation. You got to get them on the phone, call, get information, then look up the comp second.
Yeah, and it's really good. The reason why we're showing you Zillow and Redfin, guys, is we want you to get familiar with how to use Zillow and Redfin while you're on the phone with the seller. Let me show my screen again here, because when I'm talking to the seller, boom, if I do this, okay. When I'm talking to the seller, that house is in the center of this map, right? Right now I'm looking at actives. And I could ask the seller, he says it's worth 600. It's like, well, seller, you know, I'm looking at this one property here. It just got listed on the market for 550. You know, the strategy behind this, by the way, probably is they're listing it really low to bid it up. You know, who knows? But I'm going to ask the seller, why would I want to pay, you know, 600 for yours when I can buy this one for 550? And then real quickly, while I'm on the phone, I just switch to solds, go last year. Okay, now I got too many of them. I'm going to zoom in real quick. I'm going to sort this by price. And I'm going to say, you know, boy, I'm seeing some properties that sold. This one looks really nice. Just down the street, it sold for $458. I'm sure your house is a lot nicer, but why do you think this one sold for $458? Do you have any idea? And they're going to say, I don't know. But I'm not. It's not like I'm telling them, hey, you're dumb for wanting so much. I'm just asking the question. Why would this one sell for $458 and this one sold for $475 and this one sold for $485 and you want $600? What's the disconnect? I'm sure your house is gorgeous. Like, is this neighborhood a whole bunch nicer than that neighborhood, just, you know, half a mile away?
Yeah.
So it's about like just asking questions, because if the seller's not motivated, you cannot do deals with unmotivated sellers. Right? You can only do deals with sellers that need to sell now, not in the future. That's why we always suggest, hey, maybe you should just list it with an agent. If you really want the highest price, you got to list it with a realtor. So what's most important to you, selling it fast or selling it for the highest price possible? If they're stuck on that price, but they're motivated, but they go down, then you can offer maybe a lease purchase or something like that. Right?
Yeah. And then the other thing is as well, now when you've led in with this cash soft pass offer, then you can transition in to creative finance. That's how you transition into the lease option. Now, Matt's deal wouldn't be a lease option because it's too the condition and the amount is too small, right? We're talking about picking up for 40 grand. You're not going to do a lease option. Now, maybe if it's free and clear, you could do an owner finance. So, hey, Mr. Seller, look, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I know you want 80 and I'm way less at 40 and we're not even, you know, we can't get close. It doesn't seem, but let me ask you this. What if we could meet somewhere in the middle and maybe I make some payments every month to you and then, you know, give you a lump sum in, you know, let's say 5-10 years? That probably wouldn't work, would it? So you can do it kind of that way. And that's how you will add into the creative finance.
Yeah, really good. All right, so let's look at one more, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. What do you say?
Yeah.
This is we've gone from Florida to California.
Does anyone have any other questions, Dana, that we're missing? Just general. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything. Carry on, Joe. I'm sorry.
Well, let's do this one real fast, and then we'll stop looking at houses, and we will answer some generic questions, some general questions. But I wanted to go to a cheaper property in a cheaper town. Like Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas is a great market. I love Little Rock. And I'm going to share my screen again here. This is a property that's going to be a rental, right? This is the Redfin says 98 grand. I mean, maybe this is a fix and flip. Sometimes you have to know that, you know, like, is this going to be a property that a landlord's going to buy? Or is this a property that somebody's going to fix and flip and sell on the retail market? So it was built in 1960. It's in downtown Little Rock. You know, I don't know this area well enough to know if this is a good fix and flip neighborhood, but generally speaking, these are either fix and flip neighborhoods or buy and hold rental neighborhoods, right? And my guess, just looking at the map here, being close to downtown Little Rock, maybe it's a little lower end. Maybe this is a good buy and hold rental neighborhood. I'm going to go look at the
This-
street view map.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, look what it's
It
next
sold
to right here.
in March last year for 34,000.
So
February
that tells
last
me
year.
it was a landlord probably, right? And this is a nice house here, so maybe this is one of those areas that's being regentrified. But I'm a little nervous about this neighbor right here. And sometimes you just got to know what's going on in the neighborhood. Maybe this is again a regentrified area. Because there is some newer homes nearby. I'll scroll back down this way. Yeah, these are some nicer, newer homes, right? Very interesting. So this is, it's so hard to know what's going on because we don't know what's the story behind this property, right? Why did somebody buy it a year ago and why are they wanting to sell it already just right now? This sold March 2021 for how much?
I think it's a good. I think 34,000.
34,000.
I think that's a good point, guys. Joe just said right. We're looking with zero. We're comping on zero information. So you got to think. You might say, well, the seller, like when we're comping with zero information, this is what we're doing. But you might say, well, yeah, the roof's got a leak. This is happening. That's happening. There's not been a tenant there for 15 years. Like you might give us all this information, which is going to obviously make our offer different. So just bear that in mind when we comp this.
Yeah. So I went to map nearby homes for sale. It's 1,264 square feet. Let's look at houses only, and let's go to 1,000 to 1,500 square feet. That's going to eliminate a lot. Maybe let's go a little bigger. 1,700 square feet. So there's only 3 homes here. I'd still want to know what else is selling in the area, right? So like, let's remove the square footage. Look, there's 16 homes for sale. And some of these, some of these are huge. 4,100 square feet. A lot of different home varieties. This is just telling me again what's for sale. Let me zoom in one more time because that house is in the center of that map. Here's a house down the street that's for sale for 130. This looks definitely newer, right? It's a completely different house. All right, let's look at solds. Sold the last year in that neighborhood. There's a bunch of them all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of weird if you go from like in the last year from like west to east, right? It goes from like fourth grand to 30 to then up to the hundreds as you go over. It's weird.
And this is a great example because it's all over the place. We're looking at sold comps from 34, which this one sold for, to 623 in this like 4 or 5 block area. So this tells me it's an area that's they're regentrifying. What you need to do is you need to get on the phone and start calling some of these people that's like who bought this house, fixed it up, rehabbed it, and sold it. You need to call the listing agent, the buyer's agent, skip trace the owner, and ask them, hey, like, look at this house right here. This is gorgeous. Newly rehabbed. Ask them, hey, are you looking for another property in the area to fix up? And ask them what they would pay for it. See, they sold this one for $274,500. Let's just say it's worth $275. Okay, I'm gonna go to my calculator. 275 times 0.7 for repairs. That's a full gut rehab. I'm gonna say 60 grand minus 60 minus a $10,000 wholesale fee. I'm gonna be around ballpark 122,500 ballpark. And let's say I get it under contract for 122,500. Okay. I'm going to immediately call the realtors, the other people that have rehabbed homes around here, and I'm going to ask them, hey, I got a property. I'm trying to sell it for like 135. I don't know if that's going to be anything. Would you be interested in that? If they look at it and tell you, no, man, you're way off. Well, it's fine. I'm going to go back, renegotiate, and get a lower price. So sometimes you just got to get it under contract at the lowest price that you can. Get it under contract at the lowest price you can, and then put it out on the street and see if you get any interest. The market will tell you how much the property is worth. It doesn't matter what we think it's worth. The market will tell you.
And on this particular one here, this Little Rock, when I know that the seller bought it in March last year, that is my angle. So, hey, Jim, it looks like, I'm just looking here. Oh, it looks like you just bought it last year for 34,000. Is that right? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Like, did you put some money in? Is it rented right now? Like, what did you do with it? Oh, I did nothing to it. Or, oh, yeah, I put money in. How much did you put in? Oh, I put 15 in. Oh, okay, cool. So why are you selling it? Well, I got this going and that going. Okay, so, so you put 15 in, bought it for 30. So kind of you're all in right now for 50,000. So what if I gave you 55? What did you think about that? And then he might say, well, the market's gone way up. Well, what do you want, Jim? How close are we to that number? What are you thinking? So I can literally back him off his own number and then come up and just keep easing up to get a price as well, because I've already got that knowledge to work from. He could have said, oh, yeah, I just did this and I put 60,000 in and, I just don't want it anymore. And you just don't know, right? That's the whole thing with when you have talked to the seller and find out their situation, right, which will lead to their motivation, kind of what is the problem, then it will open up the gaps to then what are you going to do and how are you going to present this offer.
Very good. All right, let's answer some general questions here real quick, and then we'll
Joe,
wrap
I've
it up.
got 3 minutes because I've got to start our coaching call.
Yeah. Looking for clarity. I have a VA doing my marketing. Is the goal for them to talk to 5 sellers a day for me, or should I be talking to 5 sellers a day? Post-screening, great question. You should be talking to 5 sellers a day, right? For me, I consider a lead anybody that responds to my marketing, whether I'm sending text messages, if a VA is doing cold calling for me. If a seller raises their hand and says, yeah, I want to sell, then you need to be on the phone. You need to talk to them. That's 5 people a day. If you don't have 5 for the day yet, call some realtors, call some property managers, call some other wholesalers and just say, hey, I'm looking for deals. Do you have anything? So that's your goal. If you can make it a goal to talk to 5 sellers a day, you're going to kill it in this business. All right, real quick, one more question, then we both got to wrap it up. Here's a good one. It's kind of long. Let's see if we can do it here. Got a situation, don't know how to proceed. A family member is renting a house. It's recently had damage. A water pipe burst in the attic bedroom, and the entire house was raining inside from attic to basement. Owner asked them to move out by the end of next month because they don't want to put the money into fixing it and they want to get rid of it. Should I attempt to make an offer with all the damage that is done? How much would I discount for what it's been through, and should one proceed? I use general rules of thumb when I'm making offers or estimates on repairs. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30 bucks a square foot, something like that. Tons of water damage. I would probably do 25, 30 bucks a square foot. That's what I would figure. If you want a better estimate, call a contractor. They'll come, they'll give you free estimates, even offer to pay them for their time if you want, but you'll get a real good estimate, an idea what the repairs will be by getting an estimate from a contractor. But start off, I would do 25, 30 bucks a square foot, maybe even more depending on the damage, $35 a square foot. And I would go from there. Cool. Hey, thank you everybody. We're going to wrap this up. Appreciate you all. Remember, if you are a VIP, newmarketvip.com. Next week, we saw this question. We're starting next Monday, releasing our daily videos of us going through this stuff. As we go into new markets, do the marketing, we're going to be documenting the whole process. Okay. If you want to get access to that and the boot camp, go to newmarketvip.com. Anything else, Gavin?
I was going to say, leave us a review as well, if you don't mind. If you've liked this, go to reviewjoe.com. No, reviewjoe.net. Yeah.
Reviewjoe.net.
Leave us a review.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And if you leave a review at reviewjoe.net, we have some books we're going to give you for free. Thanks, Gavin. And we will see you guys later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.